Hello there, this is Saj from DeboxStudio and I'm here to present our new product, Ultimate Beading Tool. I've been struggling with fabric illumination in digital fashion forever and I decided to end the hardship at once. I needed a tool that contains various of beads and crystal connection and was light and easy to work with. Also, being animation friendly was a dream. This is what's happening now. You can do all this just with one product. I separated in 3 tools because sequins and beads have some differences in placement and behavior. The Ultimate Beading Tool is a tool for Blender and helps you a lot in detailing process of your digital garments. I tried to create it beginner friendly and it doesn't require a lot of Blender knowledge. Just pay attention to this video, I'll try to cover pretty much everything. This is the Blender file you'll get in the package. These are the options you will get from each tool. There are 3 tools and I'm going to demonstrate them one by one. The Bead, Crystals and Pearls tool scatter the illumination objects around the curve on a surface. First, I'm going to demonstrate the options, then I'll show you how to use it in Blender on a digital animated garment. Here you see the base surface option. That is where you should introduce your base surface garment to the tool. It's necessary if you want to beads to orient according to the surface normal. The Convert Mesh to Curve option is when you don't want to convert your mesh to curve or using some mesh-driven modifiers. Spacing is pretty much self-explanatory. You can offset beads from curve with this option and you can change the offset direction from X to Y with this checkbox. From surface is useful when you're using beads on beads or using the tilt option. Don't uncheck the follow curve option if you want to bead to follow curves tangent. Use trim curve option when you want to move beads along the same curve. You can disable beads or stitches here. The stitches are prepared for technical accuracy. Disable them when you're offsetting beads or sequins from curve or you have more than one line in one curve, because the end point of the line is going to connect to the next line's starting point. In bead setting, you can change beads type, shape, scale, rotation, and tilt. You can also randomize the scale or rotation. If you want to scale the beads along one direction, uncheck the Uniform Scale checkbox. Use Shade Smooth if you choose a bead or crystal that's supposed to have soft edges. For pearls, always turn it on. In the material session, you can change material type, color, roughness, metallic, or IOR for crystal material. You can also randomize the color by hue, saturation, or value. Imperfection value adds some mild scratches and roughness to the beads. Some materials have fixed values, and mentioned parameters cannot be modified when they're being used. In the stitches setting, you can change the stitches radius, length, and bow. Also, you can change the color, roughness, and metallic in the stitches materials setting. The options in Sequin tool are pretty much the same to the previous tool, except the random shape option that can scatter random shapes on one curve, and tilt option that has ability to change the axis. You can also add the subdivision lever for close-up detail renders. It's not recommended to use it in normal workflow. Sequins are categorized by their proportions and the hole placement. Use each category from A to E to see how many alternatives you have. Toggle Shade Smooth to find the best look for your renders. You can only use metal or irradiance material in Sequin tool, but you have transparency option that can cause so many cool effects. Now that we saw what options we have, Let's create something. I created and animated this dress in Glow 3D and I want to export it for Blender, so I can use this tool for the details. The most important thing in this workflow is the UV. It should be organized, packed, and not overlapped. Then, all we have to do is export an Alembic file. Use thin build option and UV coordinates must be checked. Check the textures if your model has material in Glow 3D. Also, change the unit to meter. First, append the Blender file to your document. Uncheck the Activate Collection option and in the Node 3 folder, select the 3 tools. Hide the appended file collection in viewport and render. Now in a new document in Blender, easily import the Alembic file. Change its name to Garment Original. Create a duplicate and name it Garment Flat. Hide the flat version and keep the original one. We can do so many things with just this one 3D model. But for most accurate and technical workflow, we need a flat version of this model that I will explain later. You can use the model's edges as curves. First, hit the tab and go to Edit mode. Press 2 to enable the edge mode. Now select the edges you want to use and duplicate them by pressing Shift D. Now press P for separate the selection from the original model. Rename the object and remove the Mesh Sequence Cache modifier from the duplicate curve so you can see it. Make sure apply all fastmode to the object and add geometry node modifier. Choose the tool you want to use. Now you have to check the Convert Mesh to Curve checkbox because we did not convert it to curve before. Now reference the base surface and tada. You can modify the curve anytime to have better bead placement. I separate two sides so I can have two different rotations. Use the little randomness can make the result more realistic. I'm using some references to help me start the design process. We need this chevron form. We can easily draw lines and project them onto our garments. The tool does the project by nearest surface point, but in some cases we need a more precise workflow. I use shrink wrap modifier and use project in y-axis. Move the curve if it's needed. Now I have a curve to start with. Apply shrink wrap and use it again if you need it. You don't need to draw a curve every time. Sometimes it's just easier to click and draw a crystal. You can mirror the curves when you need, to prevent you from double work. Separate the mirrored part by pressing P to change the rotation. Now I want to create some flowers with sequins. I'm going to use the draw tool to draw a circle and duplicate it to create more flowers. Now I'm going to complete my design by mirroring this half. You can bind the design to garment animation by using Surface Deform modifier. But before that, you should convert the geometries to mesh. If you want to edit them in geometry nodes after binding, you should convert your curves to mesh before applying the tool. And after editing, you should unbind and bind it again. After converting to mesh, you can join the geometries together. Sequins to sequins and beads, crystal, and pearls can be joined together. You can use subdivision surface on your garments, but keep the subdivision level at 1. After any editing on your garment or geometries, you can have to unbind and bind again. Here's the final result with this method. Watch next chapter to learn how to design on a flat garment and turn it to 3D animated one. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to create your design on a flat version of the garment. This is a more technical and more accurate approach. You can use patterns and different shapes and you don't need to project your curve every time. Duplicate the garments, name them Garment Original and Garment Flat. Hide the original one. Add Geometry Node modifier to the flat version. Choose Flatten by UV. In the modifier setting, check the Flatten object. Now I'm going to import a SVG pattern and use it as curves. Convert it to mesh, place it on model, go to edit mode and place it wherever you need. Apply all transforms to the mesh. If it lost its placement, convert it to mesh one more time. Now apply all transform. Add geometry node modifier and use the tool as you like. Don't forget to check the convert mesh to curve checkbox. We have to bind this design to the model. So when we switch to 3D version, the design transforms with it as well. Add surface deform modifier and bind it to the flat garment. Now if you switch between 2D and 3D, you can see your design transform with it. After any editing, you have to unbind and bind again to see the 3D version. Avoid the edges to have a clean and bug-free result. In heavy dense work, you can separate the design part to have faster workflow. Disabling the stitches speeds up the process. Other steps are not that much different with previous chapter, except that in the end you don't need to convert the design to mesh and it's been bound to the animation all this time. So you can keep editing and check it out on animation without worrying about anything. But if you want to draw curves with the curve tool, you should finish your drawing first. Convert it to mesh, then add surface deform and so on. Because surface deform modifier only works on the mesh. If you have any questions or suggestions about the tool, please feel free to contact us via email and wait for the updates in the future.